Is it done?
Almost, just 2 more minutes.
Okay.
So there are 22 of them, right?
Right. So let's start with few points first, and then we'll come to these 22 points one by one. Right. So there are different modules in SAP. That we can say SAP modules. You know what other modules are there in SAP?
With modules, so you're saying that there is this FI, then MM, SD. These you're talking about? Yeah,
What else?
right. FI, MM, SD. There will be what is that? Purchase,
Okay.
production. I think I don't know what it
Right.
is called. Yeah. Mm, what else?
EM, CO,
Okay, CO, right. I
PS.
know about
And
these.
how many modules are there in SAP? 70 plus.
Okay.
Right. So what is FI? FI is purely finance.
Purely finance, yes.
MM is what?
It is materials management.
What department covers this MM module?
Is it the inventory as in
Right.
purchases? Okay.
And store, which is
Purchases and
called
store.
inventory.
Hmm.
SD is same.
This is sales and distribution, I
This
think.
is production.
Production.
Planning. Quality management. Plant maintenance.
This is controlling.
Costing.
Costing.
Project system. Basis ABAP. So these are two technical. Bases are the hardware side
Mm-hmm.
and security. And ABAP is pure coding or programming,
Right.
right? So these are few modules, uh, because every module has their own different process, has their own different role,
Mm-hmm.
right? So finance is pure finance. We have finance like, so finance is the module which 98% of complete data receives from the other module,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Okay.
For example, if you talk about AR,
Mm-hmm.
AP, these two things.
Mm-hmm.
AR is what?
AR is your accounts receivables. That
Accounts
is
receivable,
where we deal with our debtors, customers.
right? Accounts receivable, debtors, customers. So all these
Clients.
terms
Yeah.
are related to AR.
Right.
Now we'll come to accounts payable.
Payables. So there are vendors,
Creditors
creditors, vendors.
and vendors. So these are the different terms. So AR is a term which is covered by two different way, FI or MM with FI.
Okay.
AP, sorry, SD with FI. AP is FI, MM with FI, right? So
Mm-hmm.
FI is what? Financials. SD
Mm-hmm.
is what? Sales and distribution.
Sales and distribution.
So there are two different ways to post the transaction related to customer. Either we can post it through finance, or we can send into finance from sales and distribution module.
Okay.
Example लेते हैं अब हम क्या
Huh.
example? Examples are, suppose you are buying some material. First we
Mm-hmm.
take the example of SD. Sorry. So
SD.
you want to sell something. आपको कुछ scrap बेचना है, right?
Mm-hmm.
अगर आप scrap बेचेंगे तो there are two ways to do. First, I just want to ask, what is the source of scrap? So scrap का source क्या होता है?
स्क्रैप का सोर्स वो होता है जो भी हमारे पास कोई चीज़ होती है जो ऑब्सोलीट हो गई होती है एंड देन
Right.
वी
What
आर
else?
लाइक
और क्या क्या?
any machinery that has become obsolete or
Right. Uh,
any
right.
say
What else?
mm,
Is there any scrap? Is there any way where your company gets some scrap within the defined process?
so I'll quote an example. I don't know if that is considered scrap or not. I used to work with this FMCG,
Hmm.
and to maintain their quality, what they used to do, if whatever their goods are, अगर उसमें कोई भी कमी होती थी, what they used to do, they
नो,
उसको
बट वो केस था कि अगर उसमें कोई अगर वो अप टू द मार्क नहीं है तो ही
up to the
होगा.
mark नहीं है,
आई
right? हाँ, right,
एम
right,
आस्किंग,
right, right.
is there
Not
any
not
way which is defined by your company, so this scrap,
okay,
this
right.
much of scrap will come?
I remember what happened once. What happened? They were revamping the office space,
Hmm.
and they were doing away with the movable chairs and tables.
Hmm.
So they'd given it to the employees at a very negotiable cost.
Right.
If
That's
that can
that's
be con-
again a that's again a conditional.
okay,
अगर आप ऑफिस रिवैम्प करेंगे, उसको अगर
right?
रिजॉल्व करेंगे, then only you will get some scrap.
Then
For
only
example,
correct.
प्रोडक्शन रिलेटेड.
Hmm.
सपोज आप एक गारमेंट मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कंपनी है.
Hmm.
उस कंपनी के अंदर फैब्रिक का कटिंग होता है, विच
Ah,
इज
right.
डिफाइंड, बिकॉज इतना कट करने के बाद इतने पैचेस और इतने पीसेस बचेंगे,
बच
विच इज
जाएंगे.
डिफाइंड, राइट? उस, जस्ट ए
Hmm.
मिनट, जस्ट ए
Yeah,
मिनट.
yeah, yeah. Sure, sure, sure.
हाँ, मीटिंग कैसा? सॉरी।
Yes, sir.
तो वो जो पैचेस हैं, अगर वो पैचेस आपकी कंपनी के बाहर जाके कहीं सेल होना है,
Mm-hmm.
सो दोज मटेरियल कॉल्ड स्क्रैप।
Scrap. Okay.
अब अगर वो स्क्रैप आप बेचते हैं फाइनेंस मॉड्यूल के थ्रू, तो अकाउंटिंग एंट्री क्या
Mm-hmm.
होने वाली है? आइदर बैंक, कैश, कस्टमर,
Debit.
डेबिट, स्क्रैप सेल्स क्रेडिट, राइट? या फिर रेवेन्यू फ्रॉम स्क्रैप क्रेडिट।
Revenue.
So, up after 1 month, if somebody asks you, so how much quantity you have sold of this scrap, आपके पास कोई जवाब नहीं है,
Right.
राइट? अगर इसको हम SD मॉड्यूल के थ्रू जाएंगे, then first create the sales order, then delivery order, उसके बाद में billing. Delivery order जब sales order बनेगा, then you have to mention all the materials, which material you are going to sell, how much quantity, rate, उसका payment terms, everything will mention there. But delivery order के time पे accounting होता है यहाँ पर finished goods या फिर scrap, stock, credit, and COGS debit. I'll tell you what is that COGS. उसके बाद में आता है कस्टमर डेबिट सेल्स क्रेडिट, स्क्रैप सेल्स क्रेडिट, राइट? तो इस केस में क्या है? आफ्टर 1 month, if someone ask you, so how much material you have sold, you can directly say this much of material.
This much.
You can say this much of material because you have mentioned in sales order. Actually, this SD process is very much traceable. जहां से आपको ये पता चलेगा कि कितना क्वांटिटी आपने सोर्स किया और कितना क्वांटिटी आपने सेल किया, जो कि यहां नहीं होता है। अब एसएपी का अल्टीमेट पर्पस क्या है फाइनेंस का? टू मिनिमाइज द फाइनेंशियल ट्रांजैक्शंस व्हिच हैपेंस थ्रू फाइनेंस मॉड्यूल। तो आप जितना ट्रांजैक्शंस को मिनिमाइज करेंगे, फाइनेंशियल ट्रांजैक्शंस को, उतना आप सक्सेसफुली एसएपी को यूज कर पाएंगे। अब व्हाट इज द प्रॉपर चैनल ऑफ यूजिंग दिस एसएपी? जो भी डेटा आपका एसडी से आएगा वो एसडी से फाइनेंस में जाएगा, जो डेटा एमएम से आएगा वो एमएम से फाइनेंस में जाएगा, और इसके अलावा प्रोडक्शन है। सो डेटा कम्स फ्रॉम अदर मॉड्यूल्स, इट गोज टू फाइनेंस मॉड्यूल, राइट? सो अगर मैं बोलूं कि देयर आर 98% ऑफ डेटा comes from other modules to finance, but finance is the module which is a receiver of the data. Finance never sends the data to other module.
It collects data from different verticals.
Sorry?
It collects data from different verticals.
Right. अगर मैं इस FI को बोलता हूं, this FI is nothing, it is tally. ये tally है। बट अगर हमें इसको एसएपी बनाना है तो ये यूज करना पड़ेगा,
राइट? Yeah, obviously.
Because SAP is a reporting tool, it's a managerial tool. वो मैनेजमेंट को डेटा तब मिलेगा जब आप डेटा एंटर करेंगे, राइट? सो दिस इज द वे वी प्रोसेस द फाइनेंशियल डेटा. नाउ this is the discussion which we have done for the different modules. Now we talk about the roles in SAP. So there are different roles in SAP. First is the user role, another one is the consultant role. User roles are two in SAP: end user and core user. So the person who has very good understanding of his department, right, उस बंदे को हम SAP के प्रोजेक्ट के लिए कोर यूजर उसको डिफाइन करते हैं, right? So we give him the responsibility. You will
as in one who helps out in implementation of the process.
Sorry?
one who would help in implementation of the process.
Right. And how, what implementation? Because
What to
implementation
implement, right?
is a process where we have to follow 4 5 steps,
Mhm.
right? So the consultants are the because they are from the IT company. Now we'll talk about type of companies.
Mhm.
There are two types: user company and IT company. User companies are the company who actually uses the SAP, and
Mhm.
IT companies are the company they implement SAP.
Mhm.
ये लोग SAP implement करते हैं, and ये लोग user actually use करते हैं, and these IT
Mhm.
companies people called consultant, and user company people called end user or core user.
Right.
Consultant and core user and end user. This is how we can connect them. User companies are end user, core users, IT people are called consultant. अब ये लोग करते क्या है? सपोज किसी भी एक कंपनी में कोई एसएपी इंप्लीमेंटेशन हो रहा है, और कंपनी एसएपी इंप्लीमेंटेशन करवाती क्यों है? डू यू नो हाउ मच इज द इन्वेस्टमेंट रिक्वायर्ड फॉर डूइंग इंप्लीमेंटेशन ऑफ एसएपी? एनी आइडिया?
Must be huge, as in if the if the whole SAP is being uh, as in the whole ERP system is being converted into SAP, right?
Yes, it starts from 5 cr, goes up to
Yeah, must
500.
be huge.
Why? So is company going to get some profit after implementing SAP? No. कंपनी को कोई प्रॉफिट नहीं होने वाला है एसएपी इंप्लीमेंटेशन से. बट व्हाट इज एसएपी? एसएपी इज ए tool where you can control your business. You can control your people there.
Mhm.
एग्जाम्पल के लिए, अगर आपकी कंपनी में जितने भी एचओडीज हैं, व्हाट इज द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज ऑफ एचओडी? दे गिव देम द बजट्स, राइट? वो मैनेजमेंट को बजट देते हैं. बजट क्या देते हैं? फॉर 1 year they will give the budget of, suppose every department is giving their own budget: FI, finance, then SD, sales, then HR, purchase, right? So suppose ये जो लोग हैं, ये लोग अपना अपना बजट देंगे, and basis on this budget, so
Mhm.
on daily basis there would some transaction happens, राइट? कुछ कुछ ट्रांजेक्शन्स होती रहेंगी उनकी कंपनी के अंदर. वो
Mhm.
ट्रांजेक्शन्स क्या होगा? उस बेसिस पे योर बजट विल गेटिंग कंज्यूम्ड.
Sir, can you repeat this again?
यस. क्या होता है, कोई भी कंपनी का जो बेस्ट पार्ट है, अगर उसको एक्चुअली अपने बिजनेस पे कंट्रोल करना है,
Mhm.
then they ask their HODs or they ask their managers to provide the budget
Okay.
for next 1 year.
Mhm.
राइट? सो अब मैं अगर एचओडी हूं, आई नो माई बिजनेस वेल, आई नो माई डिपार्टमेंट्स एक्टिविटीज वेल, देन व्हाट आई
Mhm.
विल डू इज आई विल गिव सम बजट्स टू माई मैनेजमेंट.
Mhm.
मैं क्या बोलूंगा कि मेरे को सेल्स में इस साल 5 करोड़ का सेल करना है, तो 5 करोड़ का सेल करने में मुझे कितने रिसोर्स लगेंगे, कितना मैन पावर यूज होगा, कितना एक्सपेंस किस किस पॉइंट पे आएगा. देन आई विल गिव देम द ब्रेकअप, right, where I can submit my budget to my management.
Right.
फाइनेंस लोग क्या करेंगे कि मेरे को इतना मैन पावर लगेगा, मेरा ये एक्सपेंस आएगा, वो सबका बजट देगा. एचआर क्या करेगा? मुझे इतना मैन पावर लगने वाला है, मैं आपको ये कमिट कर रहा हूं, इतना होगा. परचेज क्या करेगा? सेम वे, राइट? और
Right.
इनका कुछ कॉम्बिनेशन में भी इनका कुछ एक प्रोसेस होगा जिसके बेसिस पे ये बजट फाइनल होता है. सो आफ्टर, बिकॉज ऑन द डेली बेसिस सम ट्रांजैक्शन हैपेंस. वो
Mhm.
ट्रांजैक्शंस कुछ ना कुछ एक्सपेंसेस की भी होती हैं, कुछ रेवेन्यू की भी होती हैं. जो एक्सपेंस की ट्रांजैक्शंस है वो इनके बजट को माइनस करती चलती है,
Mhm.
वो इनके बजट को कंज्यूम करती हैं, राइट? सो ये जो कंजम्पशन है, ये कंजम्पशन सिस्टम में ट्रैक होता है. एंड आफ्टर 1 month again one meeting happens where your management will see, because you have given the budget of 1200 rupees suppose for 1 year. Now your management check your performance for 1 month. What they want to see, so how much budget you have consumed for 1 month out of 12 months.
Out of 12 months, proportionate basis.
Yes. तो अगर उस बजट का जो रेशो है which is under control, which is which is which is in reach, right? So आपकी मैनेजमेंट बोलेगी things are going fine, so as per your planning you have the processes, you are doing the processes, and whatever expenses you are doing it within the plan, right? So it is good to go.
Right.
Other cases, suppose आपने 1200 का बजट दिया, 100 रुपीज का पर मंथ का बजट है, बट फर्स्ट मंथ यू हैव कंज्यूम 250 रुपीज. आपकी मैनेजमेंट क्या पूछेगी? व्हाई आर यू इन्वेस्टिंग दिस मच ऑफ मनी एंड व्हाई हैव यू इन्वेस्टेड 250 रुपीज फॉर फर्स्ट मंथ?
राइट
राइट. तो ये जो क्वेश्चंस हैं, ये जो आपकी मैनेजमेंट की जो बिकॉज जो क्वेरीज हैं, दैट यू हैव टू गिव आंसर्स, और आपके पास लॉजिकल आंसर होना चाहिए. ऐसा नहीं होगा कि आप कुछ भी रैंडम बोलेंगे एंड दे विल एक्सेप्ट इट.
करेक्ट.
Because manager or HOD's job is just to control their business.
Right.
Right. So that is their job. So उसमें because ये जो tool है, why companies are investing this 5 crore or 500 crore, because every place there are checks and controls जहां आपकी मैनेजमेंट आपके ऊपर कंट्रोल लगा सकती है. दूसरा साइड, you can submit the budget to your management and according to the budget they can check the performance. और जितना कंपनी का डेटा बढ़ता जाएगा अकॉर्डिंगली SAP आपको हेल्पफुल होगा. बिकॉज आपके बिजनेस प्रोसेस को बेटरमेंट करने में, बिजनेस प्रोसेस को स्ट्रीमलाइन करने में SAP will help you. So that is the ultimate purpose of SAP. Right? Now we'll talk about type of projects.
Okay.
So there are different type of projects of SAP. First is implementation. Next is rollout. Next is support and migration. Rollout project is the fresh, implementation project is the fresh project. Where the companies is going to migrate from third party system to SAP system.
Yeah.
It means they have been using their third party system now. Right? They are not using SAP. Now they want to migrate it.
Migrate from, yes,
third party system to SAP. That third party system might be Tele, Excel, Oracle, Ban,
yeah,
Busy,
it
whatever.
It could be any ERP.
Yes, which is non-SAP system.
Which is non-SAP. Yes.
Right. So this project called Greenfield implementation.
Okay.
Then we'll come to this rollout project. Rollout project क्या होता है? Suppose your company has already implemented SAP. Your company had once they started implementing SAP, so they had one company and 4 plants. Right. I just mentioned somewhere. This is company. Plant 1, plant 2, plant 3, plant 4. So your company has already implemented SAP for 4 plants. Right. Now they want to introduce 5th plant after 1 year. Right. So what they wanted is, उनका requirement ये है कि we have been using SAP for 4 plants, and in last 3 months we have started a new plant, but that plant is not on SAP. Now the project of rollout is to introducing a new plant in SAP system. Got it?
So, in implementing a new plant altogether.
But the business
Okay.
processes remain same.
Will remain same. Okay.
Right? Process will remain same, but you are going to introduce a new plant in SAP system within a same company. Okay, Shiroshi, एक बात बताइए. So how we identify this is my company and this is my plant? How can we identify that? How can we differentiate it?
Hello.
Yes, I am just asking.
Sir, voice नहीं आ रही.
अच्छा, अब आ रही है?
Sir, एक मिनट, voice नहीं आ रही थी.
अब ठीक है?
हाँ.
Is this better now?
हाँ, थोड़ा सा ना voice break हो रही है एकदम.
Actually.
Yeah, this is better.
Okay. Now, is it fine now?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. So my question is, how can we differentiate two things in company and plant? How can we differentiate these two?
Plant is basically what I relate to is where the actual probably the manufacturing or where the goods are made. If it's a manufacturing company, plant is basically
What is the documents where we can find out
where
whether it is
the
a
actual production takes place.
Acha. So, okay, what plant does?
Sir, I can't hear you. I think it's
No,
it's
voice
cracking.
is not clear.
One sec. Now it's clear. It broke in between.
Yes, actually, sometimes I face this internet connectivity issue here.
Yeah, I think it's a network issue only. I think.
So, what different registrations are required for company and what registration are required for plant?
Registrations as in, sir?
Okay, if I want to register a new plant, so what registrations are required?
Not sure.
Okay, so company is identified with your PAN number or SIN number.
Right. Yes.
Right. If you have PAN number, then you are registered with one company.
Yeah.
Right. Other side is, अगर आपके पास GST different है, right? या फिर within a same state you are using the GST for 3 plants.
3 plants. Okay.
Then you are registered as a plant. If you don't have the PAN number, that means you are a plant.
Okay.
Right. So that is the differentiation which can be identified or which can be differentiated in between company and plant. Now, if the project is implementing a new plant, that project called rollout. New plant implementation, right? Okay. So, इसमें और implementation में difference क्या होता है? I think rollout is the 1/10 efforts from the implementation project.
Okay.
So with 1/10 efforts of implementation project, we can do the rollout. Got it? How? Because there are, suppose there are 100 activities to do in implementation. So in a rollout, only 10 activities will be there to do this implementation of new plant. And the cost will again 1/10.
Will be less.
Right. It will be very less. So rollout is a new plant implementation and this is new company implementation. New company implementation. Whenever your group company registered a new company, so that project called implementation project. Now we'll come to support. Support project होता है ये generally IT जो team रहती है कंपनीज में, so they actually support to their users, right? So what problems face the end users, they go and help them for resolving it. So that is called support project. Now we'll come
Support.
to this migration project. Suppose you are using SAP, but the new version you are going to migrate it.
Okay.
Within SAP system, version is upgrading, then it's called migration,
Okay.
right?
This upgrading version is just like probably how we keep upgrading our softwares. It's like that.
Right. Even I give you the example, ECC to HANA.
Right. Yes.
S4 HANA is the newer version of SAP and ECC is the older version of SAP.
Right.
So that is called migration project.
Correct.
So we are migrating it. We are upgrading it. Got it?
Right.
Right. Now you have these points. तो अभी आप जॉब नहीं कर रही है ना श्रेयसी?
नहीं, अभी मैं I told you I am working.
You can utilize your best.
Yeah, but my company is wrapping up, so it'll be done by next month.
Right. Fine. तो मुझे लगता है कि ये बेस्ट टाइम है आपके लिए SAP में एंटर करने का. Right. So what you will do is, श्रेयसी, ये जो पॉइंट्स हैं, इन पॉइंट्स को आप गूगल पे सर्च करना स्टार्ट करेंगी.
ठीक है.
राइट. कैसे सर्च करना है आपको? जैसा इसमें लिखा हुआ है वैसा ही, सर्वर्स इन SAP.
ठीक है, मतलब इसी टर्म से ही सर्च करना
टर्म में, और आप उनके नोट्स बनाएंगी.
ओके.
राइट. एंड व्हाट विल डू इज इन द नेक्स्ट सेशन, सो मैं इन पॉइंट्स को थोड़ा सा आपसे इनपुट लेके just to discuss about your understanding, what you have understood. If understanding is correct, we'll go to the next level. If it is not, then we'll discuss first.
Okay.
Right. So ये जो points हैं आपको discuss, ये आपको notes बनाने हैं इसके.
बिल्कुल ठीक है. All 22 of them, right?
Sorry.
All 22 of them.
Yes. Try as much as possible.
Yes, no issues.
Right. जहाँ भी issues आते हैं, if you find any issue, you have my number. You can ping me on WhatsApp.
Right.
If you find any problem, you can call me up.
Correct. No issues.
करिए आप इसको, और within this week हम 2 classes और करेंगे अभी.
Correct. हाँ जी.
So that from Saturday Sunday I'll take you in one batch.
Okay.
This batch.
So will it be Saturday Sunday, because I spoke that I asked you कि अगर weekday batch.
जो batch रहेगा वो Saturday Sunday ही रहेगा. Right. And जो बाकी जो 2 classes हैं वो हम weekdays में करेंगे. Within this week.
No, that is okay. वो तो आप मेरे को within this week करोगे. There are no other weekday batches running with you.
Okay, you are looking for weekday batch?
Yeah. I think आपको याद नहीं होगा.
That we can manage. Yes. Not an issue.
Yeah. तो आप weekday batch में ना.
Right. I remember.
Right. तो कब किसी भी टाइम पे, मतलब time is not an issue. आप
कोई issue नहीं है, because मैं चाहता हूँ कि उस बैच में हमको तभी लो जब जितना हम कर चुके हैं उस बैच में उतना आप कवर करें.
Which is okay. That's okay, sir.
So what we'll do is, today is Tuesday.
हाँ.
Thursday and Friday we'll have 2 classes.
Okay.
Right. Same time we'll have this.
Yeah, 6:30 is fine. I'm okay with 6:30. Yes.
So ठीक है, आप इसको करिए, and we'll start working on the SAP in the next class, or most probably from next to next class.
Right, which is okay sir. जो भी आपका weekday वाला जो भी batch होगा जिसमें आप मुझे merge कर सकते हैं, आप मुझे
कोई issue नहीं है.
हाँ जी. हाँ जी, because वही मैंने वही आपको याद दिलाया.
That's fine. Okay. मैंने बात भी किया था जो अपने बैचमेट से, मैं भूल गया.
नहीं, that is okay sir. आपके बहुत सारे batches run कर रहे होते हैं तो skip हो गया.
This is fine, not an issue.
Yeah. Because weekday में I'm very much comfortable. I'll have time, because in a way I told you that we are wrapping up. तो इतना मतलब बहुत ज़्यादा pressure भी नहीं है. तो
नहीं, this is fine. और आपको मैं काफी मतलब लोडेड करने वाला हूँ काम से.
बिल्कुल. No issues, no problem with that. Absolutely, I would really.
Maximum explore कर सकते हो, इन पॉइंट्स को एक्सप्लोर करो. कहीं आपको अगर प्रॉब्लम होता है then you ping me.
Sure. So before Thursday I'll be doing it. आपके मतलब मैं अपने इन पे अपनी अंडरस्टैंडिंग के हिसाब से I'll prepare the notes.
Definitely.
Yes.
Fine, Shivasi.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Okay, bye bye.